Have you ever had a neighbor or somebody you know calling their children, "You dog, you stupid child"? You are as silly or stupid like your mother, or you are as stupid as your father. Today we are talking about the power of parents' words. And I really want to welcome you today to this session. With pleasure and joy, I welcome those who are coming to us, who are tuning in for the first time. Please check up our previous audios, our previous videos, and familiarize yourself with the different principles that we have been talking about. And also get a copy of our parenting handbook so that you get more detailed information. The power of parents' words, powerful, powerful tool that shapes the way children behave. I want to start off with an experience that happened to me when I was about 10 years old. I remember I was sitting outside. I was with my father and my mother. My father would come in once in a while when he has taken some local alcohol. On this particular day, it was sad that even my mother had taken the same. And they sat outside and they were talking to each other. And as a young girl, my father had shown me how to remove his shoes. As soon as he came home, I would remove his shoes and clean his feet. He had showed me very well how to clean the feet, right from the ankle, right through the toes, how to clean in between the toes. I learned all that. Now, this time while I was doing it, they were exchanging words with my mother. Unfortunately, these were not very attractive, positive words, but they were talking to each other. And I was there kneeling before my father and listening. I was hearing what they were talking about. And, you know, I loved those moments when I would clean my father's feet, because that was like the only time I had to be very close to my father, because he never came home often. But this time when he would come, and I am cleaning his feet, I would feel that, I am really close. But the words they were exchanging, they were not very nice words. Except at one moment, my father said something which has really stuck with me since that time. He was calling my mother, calling her those words which are, derogative. But somewhere he says to her, "You are a silly woman. The only good thing out of you is that you produced beautiful and intelligent children." I heard that one. I heard it. I said, is he referring to me with my siblings? I am beautiful and intelligent. It took me, as I was cleaning the feet, for me, that's all I was listening. That's all I picked. I did not care what else they were saying. I focused on maintaining that natural outward beauty. And as I grew up, I also added on the inner spiritual beauty. I said, my father said it, so it must be so. And I have to maintain it. I worked hard on my academics because, after all, my father had said I was an intelligent child. And I did so well. I continued, even when there were challenging times when I did not have school fees, when he had retired from government service, and I was in secondary school. I would have no school fees, but I continued. I struggled on until I reached the highest level of education with a number of degrees, even up to PhD level. The power of parents' words. The power of parents' words. They can destroy or build a child. My father's words had not been addressed to me, but the fact that they caught my attention, for me, I sensed that he referred to me and my siblings, and they touched and influenced my future lifestyle. So my dear parents and parents-to-be, let me tell you this. The words that you say are very effective tools in shaping your children's behavior. Words that encourage good behavior, they lead to positive actions. The words which are toxic, they can cause discouragement and rejection, low self-esteem, and they reinforce undesirable characteristics. And yet the positive words, they comfort, they encourage, they give hope, and nourish the child. So my principle here is that a parenting style that is high on criticism and very low on warmth is very, very dangerous to the child. Such toxic words that belittle a child, that you are like saying the child is no good. You are like saying they are just wasting your money. You are blaming the child for any misdeed. Even when the fault may not have been theirs, they become humiliating. And that sometimes some of us even humiliate our children in front of their friends, in front, in the public. It is bad. The child will grow up knowing that he's actually useless. How will he perform in class that when you are calling him stupid, when you are calling him that he's just wasting your money? Unfortunately, even at school, you find some teachers also using the same words. And so the child finds home is the same, the school is the same. It affects that child. I have another experience that I had that happened at school. I always wanted to be in the school choir. I loved singing, especially the spiritual songs. But every time I tried to be in the choir, those days when the teachers would be using solfas, they line you up and then they come doing do, ti, ra, so, fa, mi, re, do. Whenever they would reach me, do, ti, ra, so, fa, mi, re, do, you out. I was always the one to be removed out, that my voice is not musical. How could it be? And all through school, I failed to be in a choir. I was surprised recently when I was with the women at church. In my age of above 50 years now, and I am in church and we are presenting a special song as women. And the leader says, Jolie, your voice is very good. You have a good soprano. I said, what? Me with a good soprano? From childhood, I was told my voice is not musical. And you know what? Even when, we reinforce these things in normal situations. Interesting, when I got married in a cross-cultural marriage. And where I got married to, the women have these very, very sharp voices. So when I got in, the women were laughing at me that for me, my voice is like that of a chicken. That made it really like confirmed that my voice cannot be musical. I was surprised that actually the women at church felt I can sing. So you as a parent, what are you promoting for your children? What words are you telling them? Whatever you tell them, that's what will happen. It will influence them in the future. As a parent, you are free to choose how you react, how you speak to your children. You may decide to call your child stupid and not good enough. That's what he will be. You are perpetuating frustration to that child and you spoil the future. Or you may choose to encourage and affirm your children, and this will lead to mastery and a feeling of self-worth. The ball is in your court. For me, my father was addressing my mother, but it helped me to pick up the positive and left out the negative. For you, you might talk and you are addressing, you may be talking to a friend and the child overhears and you are saying, my child is such a silly child. I can't imagine how he could bring a report like that. And the child overhears. He will take it that way. Sometimes we speak and we don't even think that they are hearing. And yet they are actually hearing you. I have a boy I used to support. I supported him. He had been on the street and I supported him all through primary when he came to me, all through primary, university. When he was graduating, we were at his graduation. And at his graduation, he said, that when he used to come home, I used to invite him every Saturday to come and do some chores at home, be with us, and then he would go back. He stayed somewhere else, and he would come every Saturday. So one of the Saturdays he had come home, and he brought his report. And I was looking at the report, and he had performed very well. And my youngest child came to me as I was looking at the report. And my youngest child said, "Mommy, is that the report of your son?" I said, "Yes." I didn't know that the one he was calling my son was standing behind the door, and he had. On his graduation, he said, just that statement made him so comfortable. He knew that he had been accepted in my family as our son. Just that word. And it came from my youngest daughter, and she was around, maybe also around the age of 10. She already realized that there is somebody I was supporting who had become my son. It was positive for this son that he didn't mind whether he had anything else. At least he knew he had somebody who called him son. Even when he was sleeping somewhere in Katanga, but he knew that he would come back home every Saturday to a home where he was called son. He performed so well. He finished university. He got a master's. He's now an important person in the government working to support other children. The parents' words. The parents' words, I emphasize as I finish. Speak positive, encouraging words to your children. That will help them grow. Read more about this in the Parenting Handbook. Order your copy, and please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video with your contacts. And I wait to hear from you how you are raising your children, the experiences you are getting about the words that you are using, about the words that you hear the community using. God bless you. I remain Dr. Jole Nyeko, your trainer, as we train the parents to parent. God bless you.